If you've just received a party wall notice, then you'll be aware that you've got a few options on how to respond. So I'll touch on each of these now. So the first option is you can consent to the works, in which case you sign the notice and then you just date when you signed it, return it to the surveyor, or return it to the neighbour. The second option is you consent to the works, but you request what's called a schedule of condition. Now in that schedule of condition, what happens is the neighbour's surveyor will visit your property and record its condition before the works start. And they'll usually just focus on areas of the property which are closest to the works and which are likely to be affected by the works. Now the third option is a bit more complicated, but you dissent to the works. So you don't consent, you dissent to the works. And by dissenting to the works, you can either appoint an agreed surveyor or your own surveyor, but we'll discuss the agreed surveyor. So this third option, you can dissent to the works and appoint an agreed surveyor. Now that agreed surveyor is usually the surveyor who has served the party wall notice. And what they'll do is they'll carry out the schedule of condition, but they'll also agree the party wall award. Now that party wall award is a document which details the ownership of the properties, who is going to carry out the works, who is adjoining the works, what works are going to happen, how they should happen, what happens if there's any damage and things like that. Now appended to that party wall award will be the drawings for the project. That can be architectural drawings, that can be structural drawings, and of course the schedule of condition. So that will be all put into one pack and that will be sent to you and that will be sent to the neighbour and the neighbour will send it to their builders. Now the last option, which we touched on a bit earlier, is you can dissent to the works and appoint your own surveyor. So the same process of agreeing the schedule of condition, the party wall award, things like that. Instead of one surveyor doing it, you're going to have two surveyors working together to agree those same documents. So it's like another set of eyes really that you'll have that will essentially review that information. The two surveyors will agree it, serve those documents. Again, you receive a copy, neighbour receives a copy, builder receives a copy. So those are the four response options to respond to a party wall notice. Now, if you need a notice to be served, then that's something which I can help with. Or if you've received a notice, you're not too sure how to respond, or you just want to discuss it a bit further because not all works are the same, then equally I'm available to discuss it.